everyone, welcome to In the Beyond. Today I'm back with another timeless pick a card reading, and today I'm going to be channeling a message about what is your calling? What are you being called to do right now in your life? What direction are you being called in? So yeah, let's just keep it open and see what wants to come through. We have 4 piles to choose from today. We have pile number 1 with the selenite wand. We have pile number 2 with this jaguar jasper. We have pile number 3 with this amethyst crystal. We have pile number 4 with the citrine point. So take all the time you need to see which pile is calling out to you, see where your intuition is leading you, and that will be the pile that has a message for you. You can find your timestamp in the description box below, and let's get into this reading. Let's see what's in the cards, and let's go in the beyond. Hey group 1, if you were drawn to the selenite wand, as well as this trickster card, this is going to be your reading. Let's see what you're being called to do. What is your calling right now? So 2 cards actually came out for you guys, group 1. We have the trickster card, and we also have the flute card with expression. And both these cards have a lot of orange going on. So your calling, or what you're being called to do, might actually be related to your sacral chakra, expressing your creativity, expressing joy, bringing more playful energy back into your life. But yeah, let's pull some more tarot and get a deeper message. Group 1, what is your calling right now in your life? What are you being called to do, group 1? Group 1, what is your calling? So we have Justice, 3 of Wands, 7 of Wands, the 6 of Cups, and Seed of Stones. I'm just loving this energy. Lots of that fiery, passionate energy is coming through for you guys. Group number 1, you are being called to connect back into your playful, creative side. You're being called to step back into your power for creation and joy, and yeah, you're also being called to kind of balance things out in your life right now. Maybe you've become too serious or too hardworking. Maybe you're a bit of a workaholic and you haven't been taking time out for play and joy. And your guides are really telling you you're being called to sow the seeds of play and creativity and nurturing your joy and self-expression at this time. I think that will kind of open up a whole new way of you seeing the world and bringing that balance back into your life. You're going to be feeling very rejuvenated and inspired and like ready to take on new adventures. And I just see you as a very creative person, and I think maybe even in childhood you were very creative and you did a lot of imaginative play, and you loved to play, pretend and dress up, and maybe you loved to play an instrument or dance a lot. We have this dancing trickster here, and we have this beautiful flute here, so maybe music is very important to you. But I just see something from your childhood is wanting to be talked about and expressed. I think you're very playful and joyful, as all children are. And you might have had an outlet of self-expression that you don't really have at this time. And you're being called to bring that back into your life. So whether you just love to be imaginative, or if you love to paint or dance or sing or play an instrument, you're being called to pick that back up again. You're being called to bring more playful, joyful, childlike energy back into your life, and you're being called to engage in some kind of outlet of self-expression that maybe you've engaged in the past, or perhaps it is a new one that you're being called towards. So see what resonates with you. Yeah, see how that message resonates for you, and see if you feel called to bringing something into your life that you used to do, or you might be feeling called to start a new hobby or a new talent or a new instrument or something like that. And I just see you guys like starting a new journey once you bring this playful, joyful energy and self-expression back into your life. This is definitely that sacral chakra energy of self-expression and joyful and play and bliss, that kind of energy. You're being called to bring that energy back into your life. Let's just pull a few more tarot cards to get more information. More information for pile 1. Ooh. What is pile 1 being called to do at this time? Pile 1, what are you being called to do? Ooh, we have King of Cups, 9 of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords, the 10 of Wands. Okay, yeah. You guys have definitely been a bit of like the overworked, burdened energy recently, and you are really strongly being called to connect back to your childlike self. You're being called to bring more joy back into your life. I just see this as like that beautiful childlike energy, playing dress up, pretending to be a king, pretending to have tea parties, pretending and just bringing that joyful, playful spirit back into your life. We have 9 of Cups. I think this is going to bring a lot of like happiness and fulfillment and joy. We have these, we have Page of Pentacles and Page of Swords. I'm just seeing this as bringing back that excitement and inspiration back into your life. Looking at your life through the eyes of a child, experiencing curiosity and joy again. Yeah, maybe connecting with old stories from childhood, old books you used to like to read. Connecting back to something from your childhood that brings you joy is going to be really fulfilling for you at this time. It could be something that you create, or it could just be something that you loved as a child. But yeah, connecting back to that joyful playfulness. And let's bring through another oracle. Or sorry, this is our first oracle. Messages for group number 1. Okay, so we have the dog spirit with divine service. How can you serve yourself better? Yeah, this is beautiful. What do you need to feel more happy? What can you do in your life to bring you more joy? How can you serve yourself to be more fulfilled and to have more happiness? So really ask yourself, like, How can I bring more joy back into my life? How can I infuse my life with curiosity and a sense of wonder? That is going to be something that would be really helpful for you guys, group 1. Another message. What is group number 1 being called to do? Trust. Approach the situation with a light heart. So yeah, this is beautiful. I think you're really being called to, again, we have this beautiful card with these beautiful baby deer. I think you're just really being called to bring in that playful energy. Bring in that childlike curiosity and wonder. Keep a gentle heart and a gentle spirit in your life right now, like in yourself, in your surroundings. Have gentleness and compassion for yourself and bring back playful, joyful bliss back into your life. So you really can experience the world through a very playful mind. Laugh more, bring more joy back into your life. Do whatever you need to do to kind of like bring happiness and joy back and that creative childlike energy. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you guys, group 1. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I love doing these readings so much and I'm so glad you're here. Please like and subscribe if this did resonate with you. Let me know which one you chose down in the comments below, and I really hope to see you in one of my next readings. Hey group 2, if you guys were drawn to this Jaguar Jasper stone, as well as the Stone People card, this is going to be your reading. Let's see what you're being called to do right now. Where are you being called in your life? What direction are you being called towards? We're going to start with some tarot. Ooh, wow. And we're going to be pulling oracle cards as well. All right, group 2, what are you guys being called to do? What is your calling at this time, group 2? What is your calling? We have Ace of Cups, the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Root, excuse me, sorry, the Root of Wands, and the Seed of Wands. This is interesting energy coming through. Just right away I'm being drawn to the Hierophant card and the Stone People. I think you're being called to connect to ancient knowledge, knowledge and wisdom. We have, yeah, knowledge and wisdom. I think there's a message of healing potentially as well that you are being called to hear. Picking up a lot of healing energy, maybe that the ancients knew. Let me just pull some more tarot to get a little bit more clarifying messages, because this is an interesting energy that I'm picking up. Just want to make sure I'm hearing the messages. Group 2, what are you being called to do, group 2? Pile 2. Queen of Swords, the Moon. Ooh, the Hermit, okay. And Strength. Yeah, okay, so group 2, you are being called on a journey of healing, self-discovery, connecting to ancient knowledge. Yes, connecting to the ancients and what they knew about healing. Connecting to Just really being drawn to this Hermit card. I think you've been on a journey of wisdom, like discovering wisdom about healing in ancient ways. I'm really being drawn to herbalism. I think you might be very drawn to plant medicine and maybe even the medicine in the mushroom kingdom and how the ancients actually utilized plants and fungi as medicine. And some of this could be considered more hidden knowledge that, you know, isn't mainstream, and you might have been on kind of a journey of discovery and connecting to that. If you haven't started that journey, I think that is where you are being called. I think you're being called on a journey of healing in more ancient ways and modalities. You might be being called to engage in energy healing or things like acupuncture or stone medicine, the ancient use of stones as medicine. And I'm not the most knowledgeable about that, but I do know there are ancient traditions in South America, Central America, you know, like the Mesoamerica areas, ancient Aztec, ancient Mayan, and Incan knowledge around stone medicine, as well as also ancient China. There's ancient Taoist knowledge about stone medicine and using stones and crystals as medicine, making elixirs and that kind of stuff, as well as you might be really drawn to go on a journey of plant medicine healing and what the ancients knew about the plant medicine world. And yeah, there's just a lot of ancient traditions around the globe that are very ancient, and have a lot of knowledge of herbs that we might not have today in the mainstream way. Yes, so I see you going on this journey of finding more wisdom and knowledge connected to the ancient ways of healing that used to occur on planet Earth. So you're being called to connect to ancient ancestors, the ancient people of the world, and kind of uncover and rediscover what they knew in terms of healing. And this could be some of the modalities that I mentioned, or it could be a modality that I haven't mentioned yet. Whether it's just like different ways of moving our bodies for healing, or different energy medicine healing that, you know, I'm not aware of. It could be really just anything ancient and concerned with healing, and you're really being called to discover new things pertaining to that. So let's get a few more oracle cards to see if there's more information that wants to come out about your calling and what you're being called to do right now. Group 2, what is Group 2 being called to do right now? Group 2, messages about their calling. Messages about the calling of Group 2. What does Group 2 need to know? So we have the Panda Spirit with balance. Ask how to bring balance to the situation and into your heart. And we also have the Horse Spirit with Free Spirit. Give yourself the space and freedom to express your creativity. Ooh, I love that. Okay, so with the Panda, He's talking, or this card is speaking about bringing balance back into your life, and I think you're on a journey of discovering more balance and discovering more healing. And the panda spirit, I am being drawn to ancient China. Perhaps you've been drawn to ancient China recently to discover ancient modalities of healing, or just to discover ancient wisdom in whatever capacity you feel called to do right now. You're definitely on a journey of like discovering something and really connecting to hermit mode and connecting to learning and academics and research right now. You might be being called to research things deeply, find new information, find things that need to be rediscovered here at this time. Yeah, I think herbalism, stone medicine, acupuncture, qigong, tai chi, kung fu, any of those types of things you might be drawn to. Definitely follow your calling. Definitely follow if you feel drawn to discover more about those ancient ways of healing. And with the horse spirit card, again, we have these beautiful large crystals. Look at these beautiful crystals coming up out from the earth. And we have this beautiful horse who is just such a representation of power and freedom. I think you guys are really being called to connect to the ancient energies of crystals and stones as well, like we were talking about. You were drawn to the Stone People card. The ancient mineral kingdom, I think, has messages for you. This card is also making me feel of like a connection to, again, ancient China, ancient Mongolia, that part of the world, but also the part of the world of the desert Southwest in the Americas, like ancient Mexico, ancient Arizona, those kinds of areas. There's lots of ancient cultures there who have their own ways of doing things, their own ways of connecting to plant medicine and stone medicine, and I think you're really being called to discover more about ancient cultures and their modalities of healing at this time. Has been a really interesting, unique reading. Please let me know if this did resonate with you. Let me know if these messages were resonating. I'd just love to know. Please like and subscribe if this did resonate with you. And I really hope to see you in one of my next readings. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Hey group 3, if you were drawn to this amethyst crystal, as well as the Dreamweaver card, this is going to be your reading. Let's see what your calling is at this time. We are going to start with some tarot, and I will be pulling some oracle cards as well. Group 3, what is group 3 being called towards at this time? Group 3, what is their calling? The calling of group 3. What is their calling? Oh, we have 2 of stones. The sun. 2 of wands. The lovers. And temperance. I love this. Group 3, you are being called to find more peace and joy and happiness and rest right now into your life. You are really being called on a journey of finding inner stillness and inner peace. That is your calling right now. That is what is being called out to you, is to find rest, relaxation, and inner peace. To bring balance and harmony back into your life. Yeah, because we have the 2 of stones and the 2 of wands. we have the sun with these two figures, and we have the lovers with these two figures, and we also have temperance, which is all about balance, as below so above, as above so below. You're really being called on a journey of finding balance in duality, balance in the yin and the yang energies, finding inner peace and inner stillness as well, bringing balance to your inner divine feminine and inner divine masculine, which can also be said in the way of bringing balance to your inner yang and inner yin energy. I just see you on a journey of discovering your own inner peace, and I think you're really being called to focus on rest and relaxation and rejuvenation at this time as well. Finding balance and harmony in your life to bring in more joy and rest in your life, so you're not always working, you're not always in that go 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 mentality. You do have some time for rest and inner reflection as well. Again, balancing your inner yin and inner yang energy. So balancing your masculine and feminine energy, which just means balancing the energy that you have for outward action and like getting things done and being productive and completing tasks and working, balancing that completely with your inner world, with your emotional world and your need for rest and relaxation and peace and quiet and reflection. That's kind of what I mean when I'm saying balancing the inner yin and yang. Yeah, I think there's just a lot of focus right now for you to work on inner peace and having stillness and quiet in your life. Having moments of that quiet reflection, and definitely having enough time for sleep right now is going to be really important for you guys. You might be being called to go to bed earlier. You might be being called to connect more to your dream space and sleep more so you can have deeper, longer dreaming hours every night. If that's something that you're able to do, I think that would really enhance your balancing of night and day and yin and yang, and the balancing of your conscious will with your unconscious receptive energy, which I think you're really being called to focus on. Let's get some more, let's get oracle cards to get more information right now for you guys. Group 3, what is Group 3 being called to right now? What is Group 3 being called to at this time? Group 3, what is Group 3 being called to do at this time? So we have the Raven, wise woman. A change is coming. Ooh, interesting. I think this is talking about the change that you will be initiating when you start to engage with this calling of taking more time for rest and relaxation. And when you start to kind of like bring balance back into your life, I think you're gonna be finding harmony and inner peace, and it's gonna bring stillness and a bit of change and positive change back into your life. Maybe you've been neglecting the more maybe you've been neglecting like your inner divine feminine or yin on energy, which is the energy of like self-reflection and rest and tending to your emotions. Maybe you've kind of been neglecting that, and this you're really being called to bring more balance there, and that is going to bring in some beautiful changes for you guys into your life, and you'll be able to find inner peace and stillness. Ooh, we have the snake spirit with Kundalini rising. Channel your creative passion and sensuality. Welcome the transformation. Oh, this is really, really beautiful. These two cards are speaking about your transformation and like where you are right now in your life, and how this bringing balance is going to bring in kind of like a spiritual renaissance, like an awakening. I think once you kind of balance things out, you might be having more divine inspiration, and you might be engaging more with your creativity and your sensuality, and kind of like this balancing energy that you're going to be in. You might be it might be leading you down new pathways and leading new opportunities to come to you that you have the energy for now. You have the time and the energy to create new projects or create beautiful art, or however you feel called to connect to creativity and sensuality. And then we also have we have the panda spirit with balance. Ask how to bring balance to the situation and into your heart. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is definitely speaking about you're being called to bring that balance and harmony back into your life. You're being called to balance duality, yin and yang, black and white. You're definitely being called to focus on balance, harmony, inner peace, and stillness. Balancing the conscious will with the subconscious intuition, that kind of energy. So yeah, I think there's a lot for you guys to discover when you have a little bit more of balance into your life, and you are on a bit of a transformational journey. And this journey of bringing harmony and inner peace into your life will bring a lot of positive opportunities your way. So yeah, that's really what I'm seeing for you guys, group 3. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. If this reading did resonate with you, please like and subscribe, and leave me a comment down below which one you chose. I love reading the comments and hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I really hope to see you in one of my next readings. Hey group 4, if you guys were drawn to this citrine point, as well as the death card with the transmigration, this is going to be your reading. Let's see what your calling is. What are you being called to do right now in your life? So we're going to start with tarot, and I will be pulling some oracle cards as well. But yeah, group 4. What are you guys being called to do, group 4? Group 4, what is your calling? Group 4, where are you being called? We have 5 of thunder, strength, the seed of thunder, ooh, the 7 of stones, harvest of stones, and the 2 of cups. Wow, this is very interesting energy. Group 4, you are really being called right now on a spiritual journey, a spiritual awakening, engaging with source and light and divine source. Yeah, you are really like on a spiritual awakening and being called to focus on your divinity and spirituality. I'm just really being I'm really hearing this has a lot to do with connecting to source energy, and I think you're being called to embark on a journey of spiritual enlightenment, spiritual awakening, and spiritual discovery. We have this beautiful figure in front of all of this light, just facing like the source energy and connecting to divine light and awakening and source. So you are called right now to connect to your spirituality and your spiritual journey and connecting to your crown chakra. This figure here is really just kind of basking in that divine light and having, I feel like this figure is having a crown chakra awakening. Having a lot of downloads and insights from spirit, and I think that is where you are being called at this time, to connect to spirit and to connect to divine inspiration. White light is all of the colors of the rainbow. We have a rainbow representation here as well as here and here as well. So I just feel like that is just another confirmation of group 4, you being called to connect to spirit and source and a spiritual awakening at this time. Let's pull a few more tarot cards to see if we can get more information about this journey or about this calling for you guys, group 4. Group 4. What is group 4 being called to? Okay, we have 9 of Swords. Oh wow, the Devil. Okay, very interesting. The Hermit, all right. Wow, and Strength came out again. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so, whoa, this is so interesting. You are being called to overcome darkness, to connect to divine source, and to connect to the light. You're really being called to overcome some kind of darkness, some kind of demons, some kind of shadow, some kind of devil energy. Like maybe this is a past trauma, maybe this is just a current trauma that you are kind of experiencing. Perhaps there is some kind of anxieties and worries that you are being faced with. You're definitely you've definitely faced the darkness. You faced personal demons, and you're being called to overcome that. You're being called to connect to the light, to source, to divine inspiration, to connect to your own inner light as well, and just like the light here on earth. With Hermit and Strength coming out twice, I see that you've needed a lot of strength, inner strength and outer strength, to overcome these situations in your life. You are filled with that warrior spirit, and you just have a lot of inner strength, and you're being called to celebrate yourself for the fact of how far you've come and how many obstacles you've overcome, and like how much darkness you've faced, and how much you have a skill for transmuting darkness into light as well. With the Hermit card, I do think that you are on a journey right now of finding the light. The Hermit card is usually represented with somebody with a lantern, and the lantern represents the light and the wisdom that you found in your journey. And you're really being called to connect to that light and that wisdom inside of yourself, and to connect with all of the things that you've learned by going through these experiences. You're really being called to connect to divine light and source. If you feel called as well to having a bit of a hermit mode, to where you kind of are engaging with taking time out for a little bit of solitude so you can rest and reflect, so you can do some inner journeying work to connect to what you've learned and how far you've come. That could be very helpful for you at this time. I think you are being called to also maybe start to do something like meditation, where you sit in silence perhaps, and you just kind of connect to source. So if there's any kind of practice that resonates with you, and your connection to source, like how you like to connect to divine inspiration and source, I think that certain modality you're being really calling to you. And I think that is a very important part of what you're being called to do right now, and where you're being called next. This has been a very interesting reading. I'm gonna pull a few more tarot cards because I just feel like getting more information from the tarot. Group 4. What is Group 4? Group 4 is calling. What does Group 4 need to know? Group 4. What do we need to know about Group 4's calling? Where is Group 4 being called to right now? Queen of Coins. 4 of Cups. 7 of Swords. Okay, that's interesting energy. You're definitely being called to release focus on a past trauma. Release focus on a past experience where you were maybe disempowered, maybe lied to, maybe betrayed. Spirit wants you to start to see things in a new way, and to see new opportunities, and to not be focused on these past traumas, because you are definitely being called to nurture yourself, heal yourself from past traumas, heal yourself from past situations that didn't work out. I see this as you focusing on self-care and nurturing energy, and focusing on your inner divine feminine energy and the inner goddess energy that you possess, and how you are just so connected to fertility and nurturing. And I'm really being drawn to this story of Persephone and Demeter, the Greek story about how Persephone goes down into the underworld, and it is like a traumatic event of her being abducted and taken down into the underworld, and she ultimately figures out how to actually use that as her advantage, and to become, or she becomes the queen of the underworld, and she becomes the queen of fertility and rebirth, and things start to sprout on earth again because of her. She has the power of rebirth. She has the power of making spring happen and bringing back all of the abundance of fruits and flowers and vegetables. Like, that is her power. So this is like reminding me, or this is kind of telling me that with the Devil card and Nine of Swords and those other messages, I'm just really being drawn to say that in your past there might have been past traumas, past disempowering situations where people kind of took your power away from you perhaps, and you're being called to transmute that. You're being called to take any perceived disempowerment and make it into your most empowering, magical, divine, situations, like divine transmutation of trauma, divine nurturing. Like, I think I'm just hearing a lot of different messages, so I apologize. I was hearing like neglect. Perhaps you have felt neglected or abandoned in the past, and instead of kind of sinking into that and feeling like that is what you're meant to experience, kind of flip the script and come into your own power, wield your own power of nurturing yourself, be your own caretaker, heal yourself through your own love and care and compassion, and turn whatever it is, turn your trauma like into your greatest gift. So that's going to be different for everyone here, but just the metaphor that I'm hearing is like the metaphor of if you did experience neglect or something, I think you have a profound capacity for love and nurturing. I think you have the power to completely to change what you've experienced into something positive and beautiful. You have the ability to go on this spiritual journey of transformation and connecting to source and light and divine inspiration. You have the ability to transform the mud into the lotus, if you're familiar with that Buddhist saying. Lotuses, beautiful lotus blossoms, they grow from the mud and the muck. And us as humans, we grow from muddy situations. We can take those negative, dense energies and we can transmute them into the beautiful, spiritual, compassionate energy of a lotus flower. So I think you guys have a lot of potential in the ways of spiritual awakening and healing and transmuting darker situations into beautiful, peaceful, spiritual enlightenment. And I think that's where you're being called to focus right now. And this has to do with your calling and what you're called to do here on earth right now. I think you really are being called to transmute demons into love, transmute like hatred into love, transmute the dark things into love and compassion and fertility and nurturing and joy, those kinds of things. Really connect to source and connect to divine inspiration when you feel called to and when you feel like you need to. You are very supported right now, and yeah, you have a lot of potential for this spiritual awakening. So yeah, that's really what I'm seeing for you guys, group number 4. Thank you so much for joining me today. I just love doing these readings, and I really hope they resonate with you guys. Please let me know if they do in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if this did resonate with you. I really hope to see you in one of my next readings. Thank you guys so much for being here today.